The following video was recorded on location in my state-of-the-art office in the corner of my first floor apartment. If you like what you're about to hear, please like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell in the upper right corner. Of course, we are here to talk about the brand new album from Avatarium, Hurricanes and Halos, which is available now through Nuclear Blast. Now that the album has been out for almost 2 months now, what has been the reception so far?
I think it's been very, very good. I'm extremely happy about the reception, and it seems like people understand, what we want to try to achieve on this album, and people kind of feel the vibes that we want, that we try to bring out from the album. So it's I think every time we release an album, it's always been a little bit scary because we always try new stuff, and for us it's important. It's a process. It's as much as you're a person, you try to become a better person and develop yourself and all this kind of stuff. We try the same thing with the band, so we don't want to do the same album over and over again. And actually, when we did the first album, we started the band with me and Leif Edling, and we just wanted to do something that we really enjoyed and really liked ourselves. And we were like, we didn't even think we should get a record deal on the first album. And then we got the record deal, and we got a very good reception. And then when we wanted to do the second album, Go with Graven Mask, we were like, okay, we need to take a little bit of a new direction. And it's not like a new direction, but it's like exploring new grounds, developing the sound. That's what we're trying to do all the time. And with this album, the third album, we did it again, and we're extremely happy that the fans are kind of seem to continue to like what we're doing, and we it seems like some new people are finding out about the band and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm extremely happy.
Well, I'm glad to hear that too, because this is some of the finest material you guys have recorded to date, and I really love that you guys are able to push the boundaries while keeping that sound of Avatarium going with every release.
Yeah, but that's extremely important. That's just what we want. We need to, because we started we wanted to be heavy, dark, and poetic. That was the keywords we have for Avatarium. But it's also it's extremely important to not, paint ourselves in a corner, so to speak, and just go down in a rabbit hole and stay there. We want to try stuff, and we love music. We are fans of music ourselves, and we want to explore new grounds. That's what Avatarium is about, and it's a lot about finding the right colors and dealing with emotions. I would say that's a lot of what we're doing, going into the minds, of ourselves or of other people, or trying to understand, the dark sides and the light and the shadows, everything. So it's a very interesting process, but we need to be open-minded and curious when we do this stuff we have a free spirit, so to speak, and but we always come back to we also always need to have the Avatarium feel to it, and that would be there's always the dark and heavy and kind of poetic style that we come back to, but in different, clothes, you can say.
So, with that in mind, what were you hoping to accomplish that was new for the band with the new album?
I wanted to bring in more energy. I wanted to have a little bit even more of live feel, and I wanted to, as I said, it's about Avatarium is a lot about light and shadows, and so I wanted to bring in a little bit more light, in the sound. When you have when there's a lot of dark clouds on the sky, and when you see the sun come through a little bit, that's kind of what I aim for. So it's not total darkness, you need some kind of hope, so to speak, if you know what I mean. So so that was one thing, and once again, to bring in energy, to me, is a lot of productions that I hear and don't have that. So I wanted to. That's my biggest inspirations from like 60s and 70s album is the energy they brought out from the albums, and then it's quite interesting to bring in a lot of energy without not doing too much. You know, you can play extremely fast and do all that stuff. Then you get energy, but to play like not that many notes, but bring out a lot of energy from these notes, you know, or from a vocal line or whatever. That's what interests me. I'm really trying to reach that certain kind of energy that you can hold one note, but it's like vibrating. You can feel electricity, you know, in that note. So that's like what we're really trying to achieve. So we're not. I think the music is quite simple, but to make it to bring out that electricity, you know, if you understand what I mean. I think that's one of the most hard things and interesting things. And when you get that, then it's, you know, then you can feel it.
Yeah, and I think that's very important in music, is to be able to have those dynamics and different styles incorporated together. That way, every album has its own feel to it. I mean, when you do have that core sound of what you're looking for, but you're able to experiment with either tempo changes or key changes or dynamics like that, when you're really able to show those off in the right amounts, it really makes a huge impact.
Yeah, really. You know, and dynamics is like, I'm extremely influenced by you know, like old jazz recordings and classical music and stuff, and this kind of music, they have like the dynamics and they have the tempo changes, and to me, I always wanted to bring that into hard rock and metal, and I think we're getting better and better at that with Avatarium, actually. So it's because, you know, a metal band or a hard rock band, it's like having like a symphony orchestra. You know, I think that what, you know, when they came up with the big symphony orchestras, I think that's what they tried to do, because it's like now we have a marsh. You can use like a big amp, you can get a lot of volume, but back in the days you need to bring in like 10 people playing violin and 5 cello players and like people playing trumpets and whatever. You brought in like 40-50 people, but we can achieve that with 5 guys because amps and all this kind of stuff and big drums and everything. But then you also need to be able to go down to, you know, like in a big orchestra, everybody doesn't have to play all the time. Everybody hasn't, you know, to be extremely loud all the time. Sometimes a few guys just play the music, and that's when you are 5 guys in a band and you bring it down, and you know, you try to play with that dynamic, kind of old school dynamic, you know. So yeah,
so
it's fun.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know if it makes sense what I'm talking about, but
oh yeah, that totally makes sense to me, because, you know, it's just like with so much change that's especially happened with amplification, whether it's guitar, bass, you know, anything that you use for microphones. I mean, compared to like having the symphony orchestras in the past, you know, just having more people being able to play those parts, when you do have the ability for amplification like that, I mean, it's easy to just go overboard with just being heavy all the time, but when you have those dynamics to be heavy and soft, loud and
that's
soft,
what makes it interesting, you know. It's like if you talk to a person and the person is like screaming all the time, after a while you stop listening. You know what I mean? So sometimes to get attention, it's a very cool thing to lower your volume and your voice, and people will start to listen. That's also a way to get attention, actually. It's interesting.
Oh, very much so. So with all of that in mind, with the production side of everything that goes into Avatarium, was there any problems along the way when recording this album, or did you guys know what you wanted to accomplish on the production side this time around?
Yeah, I think we did a lot of pre-production, so that helped a lot. You know, we had the songs and we had been rehearsing quite much, and we rehearsed in a studio and recorded, and so the pre-production, we were extremely. We were really working hard with that and the arrangements and everything. So I would say it was, when we started to record, it was very smooth, actually. I think we recorded like the foundations, like bass, guitar, and drums, because we recorded live. So I think we did it in like 2 days or something. for all the songs. So we did like 2-3 takes on each songs, and then we just choose the take that we liked most. So it was, and we've also been in the studios where we worked. We've been there before, so I had a lot of ideas what we wanted to use, what kind of preamps, what kind of microphones, what kind of instruments, what kind of amplifiers, drums and everything. So I would say it was quite smooth this time. But then, of course, it's like then it's good to have some time, like working with the vocals and adding some guitars and organs or whatever you want to do. So you don't have to like rush with that. So I think the whole recording took about like 1.5-2 months or something, because you go back and we don't record every day, but you listen and you think about it, and so it's like, you don't want to put in stuff that's going to make it sound, less good. So everything that's supposed to be there everything that should be on the album is supposed to be adding stuff, and it's supposed to be great. And it's all about bringing out different emotions and different colors in the music. So it's important to be in the right mood and have the vibes, supposed to be right.
Yeah, and that really shows the power of pre-production as well. I mean, when you get those songs down as much as you can between everyone in the band, and then when you just go into the studio and be able to record those parts, especially for financial reasons, being able to spend the least amount of time in the studio as possible, unless you're able to own your own studio. But when you're able to just get those parts down as fast as you can, being able to pick out those parts, it leaves with more time to be able to decide what other instruments you want to be on there, what other amps or drums or whatever the case is onto the album to try to get the best sounds possible.
Yeah, really. That's the thing. It's like, okay, it's if you go to the big studios, it's quite expensive. But if you know what you want to do, then you can do it quite fast. And then we also I have my own studio. I actually just moved in a new studio now that's even better than the old one. But so I can record. In my studio where I am now, I can record everything. But I still like to to find different rooms and different sounds, like especially for drums and stuff. So probably next time we might record drums somewhere else anyway, and the foundations. But it's always good to be able to have your own bass where you can work with vocals and additional guitars and that kind of stuff.
So with that, having a previous studio and now being a part of a new studio, what were the main changes that you were looking for when you were looking for a new studio?
I wanted to have a really good control room where I can hear perfectly, everything. That's extremely important to me. I think that's because I think that it's very important with a good control room where you can hear. You have a good hearing. You can hear exactly what's coming out, and then I also, for like vocals and guitars and stuff, I wanted a recording room that's like, that's true. That if I put a singer in there and she or he sings, it will sound. There's no like reflections and stuff that will mess up the sound. So it's like very clean. I don't know exactly what word to use, but a clean, good sound. And exactly the thing with acoustic guitars and electric guitars and stuff. I actually have 2 different recording rooms in this new studio, and a very good control room. So this is perfect.
Yeah, and I'm glad to hear that too, because there are so many musicians out there that don't have that benefit of being able to have a proper studio to really be able to invest all the sounds that they want to in an album. And when you are able to get to that point where you can have a full-fledged studio and have that perfect sound room and the acoustics and all the proper equipment to make the sounds that you want to make, I mean, it can really help you creativity-wise, and just the overall band being able to put out the best material possible. Yeah,
really. I think it's extremely important. And for me, I'm very interested in like different sounds, different rooms, and ambience and all this kind of stuff. So I will always I think I would probably always record in different studios because I like different sounds. You go to one studio and you have that drum sound, you go to another studio, you have that drum sound. I'm very much into acoustic sounds, but to have my own studio that's like good, everything is good. We get good stuff, we get good preamps, we get good, everything is like very well built. To have a good environment to work, that's extremely important.
Yeah,
and then you have fun with cool amps and microphones and stuff. It's a never-ending story, but it's fun.
Oh yeah, I mean, when you go to different studios, they, especially when they're owned by the right people, they have all this great equipment that you might not have yourself, that you always wanted to try out and put on the record, or like you mentioned, the acoustics, which is very important when you're recording acoustic instruments. The right sound environment can get the right vibe for an album, and yeah, I mean, it's always good to explore those different sounds.
Yeah, really, really, and then you're supposed to be creative. You're supposed to get inspiration, So it's extremely important. Sometimes you can record something in like a kitchen; it will be amazing anyway. It's a lot of psychology in recording as well. So it's like some people might perform better in their own kitchen than in a high-tech studio. At the end of the day, it's about the performance of the artist. So it's always different. You need to be, because I'm producing a lot of stuff, so you need to. There's a lot of like psychology involved in it, and you need to make people feel good and feel comfortable and be inspired.
So, with that said, what's next for the band?
Excuse me?
So, with all of that in mind, what is currently next for the band?
Next thing we're preparing for now is a tour in September. So we're going to do a European tour. So yeah, that's what we're doing, and I'm besides that, I'm moving in the new studio, and I'm learning the rooms and learning the equipment here and everything. So that's the two things I'm doing actually right now. So it's good, fun stuff. Trying some old amps and stuff, and yeah. But hopefully we can come to USA and play with Avatarium as well. That would be extremely cool.
Yeah, I'd definitely love to see that. I mean, whether it's just like supporting slots or a couple mini shows or a one-off show, it'd be great to be able to reach into the North American audience, because I know there is a huge fan base here.
Oh, that sounds amazing. Avatarium is like what we are. I think Avatarium is best to experience live, because we are, in that sense, once again, we are old school, and I'm, as I said, like influenced by the old jazz bands and classical music, or old rock bands, like Beatles or Zeppelin or whatever. So we are like very old school, and we do the live versions is usually different each night. We try different stuff, and we jam a little bit, and we always try to be a little bit better each night. But sometimes, sometimes the songs take new directions. When been playing like the 10th show, the song has become a little bit different. And that's what I think is makes it fun to play live. I could never play like with backing tracks or with click tracks and that kind of stuff, because then it's like being in a leash, because the song can never be, you can never take it like this unexpected paths, when you're working like that. So in that sense, we are very old school.
Yeah,
and that's what I like. That's kind of artists. When I see when you see like Paul McCartney, or you see Tom Petty or whatever, you see these guys, Neil Young. When you see them play live, that's like, okay, that's what it's all about to me. The bands that really you can feel like, oh, this is 100% live. This is happening now, and it's gonna be. It's just like this today, and tomorrow they might play somewhere else, but then it's a different story.
Yeah, and that's a huge thing that goes into it as well when you talk about the live performances. Do you want it to sound as perfect as possible, or do you want it to sound as real as possible? And I always choose real because you never know what songs are going to translate better from a bit of a tempo change mid-song, or being able to stretch things out, or
Yeah.
other things like that. And you can't do that with tempo tracks unless you have that already in mind.
Yeah, but you know, exactly. To me, it's music is about people meeting other people, humans doing stuff together. So it's not supposed to be controlled by machines. For me, that's not the way I like to play music. There's probably a lot of great artists and bands that can do like the electronic stuff or whatever. But for me, as a musician, it's not interesting to work like that. I want to be here and now when I work with music. That's to me, music is a little bit like spiritual. And if I play in a band and the versions are exactly the same each night, I will get bored. And also, when you have like the click tracks and the backing tracks, you can only get to the level when everything sounds very good, but you can never reach the level when it's magic. You know what I mean? Because the unexpected things cannot happen. They can't happen because it's like you're in a leash, if you see what I mean.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's always important like that. And another great aspect of that is being able to work with other musicians as well, to be able to get some new creativity and inspiration that's going. And of course, you've been a part of some legendary bands over the years, some of my favorite bands that you've been a part of on record. And of course, this year already, just a little bit of a sidetrack from Avatarium. There was a new album from Soen that came out as well that I really enjoyed. What's it like with having that process between Soen and Avatarium? I mean, are you able to adapt from one to the other with no problems, or do you need to like focus on one band at a time?
Yeah, I think I focus on more or less one band at a time, because it's a little bit different, but there's also a lot of things that are alike with both bands, I would say. So, but most of the time it's like I work with one band at a time. But I feel very fortunate because I think both bands are very good, and if both bands would sound exactly the same, it wouldn't make sense for me to be in two bands, So for me, it's a very cool thing to be able to play two kinds of music. Music is different, and that keeps me on my toes. And I'm developing my ears and my emotion-wise and everything. It's good to meet different people. That's why I also like to produce music, because I meet different musicians and different bands, and it's about communication, and you meet people and you learn stuff. You can learn a lot of stuff meeting like a 20-year-old person, or you can learn a lot of stuff meeting like 60-year-old musician that's been around for a long time. You can learn stuff from everybody. It's extremely cool, and that's what it's about.
Thinking about that right now, when you are able to produce other musicians, what was the biggest thing that you learned from not being a part of that band, but just producing those bands?
It's hard to maybe just say one thing, but it's always interesting to understand how other people think. I would say. So it's usually someone in a band. The band has, if it's a good band, they found their own style and fingerprint, or what you should say, and that's interesting to see. Every band and musicians that I met that are doing some really good stuff, they always have a kind of a plan, That's maybe what I learned. So it's like you need to know a little bit what you want to achieve, So I think maybe that's the thing I learned the most, I guess. To be focused, to have your goal and stay focused on where you want to go, If it's emotional-wise, sound-wise, whatever it is, but to be focused on you set up a goal and be focused to get there. Sometimes it might be a little bit different than you thought, but still, feeling-wise, it should always be the same.
No, I'm glad to hear that too, and I can definitely say, from the fan perspective, the brand new Avatarium, Hurricanes and Halos, does have that very focused, inspired sound, and it's great to see that you are able to still take the band in new directions while keeping that core sound that's going on, being able to show a little bit more of a light in the darkness that's going on throughout the band's career, and being able to just show off all those different sides. And I definitely think it's one of the best albums to date from Avatarium, and with it now being available through Nuclear Blast, I just hope people who haven't already heard the band or heard the album go out and buy it, because it's definitely worth hearing.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy to hear that. Yeah, I really hope people will do that, and then we can come to USA and play our music, because that's what we love to do, That's what it's all about, meeting people and being in the moment, You can never experience that, somewhere else, like playing music together in a room with other people, and everybody's into it. That's extremely cool feeling. And to me, it's also like when I watch a show, or if I play myself, it can be as exciting, both things. But of course, I feel extremely happy and lucky that I can sometimes play music and share that with other people. That's an amazing thing.
Yeah, and like I mentioned before, and of course, obviously, as well, being a part of so many great different bands of all different styles of rock and metal over the years, and being able to adapt to each situation, be able to pull those off just right. I mean, whether it's what you're doing now with Avatarium or Soen, or whatever future projects come up in the future, it's great to see that you do have that ability to be able to adapt like that, be able to record in your studio, be able to record in other studios and feel comfortable, and just being able to do what you want to do musically.
Yeah, I'm happy about that. Yeah, I think if you want to work with music and this kind of styles, you always need to be curious and try stuff and not be too scared about. Sometimes it's not like you can't learn this from a book. You can learn a lot of stuff from other people, but you need to try stuff and follow your own instincts and your own feelings. That's what it's about, and that's when it gets the best. When people have the courage to do that, that's when music becomes really, really interesting, I would say.
Yeah, very much so, and it's great to see that with your career as well. And again, just going back into the brand new Avatarium album, it's just like, it's great to see that creativity and inspiration going. Like some bands are only able to capture that magic for a couple albums, but you are able to still keep it going, and it feels like that you guys are on the top of your game, and it's just going to get better from here.
I'm happy to hear that. Yeah, we really love what we're doing, and we want to keep on doing it. So I'm very happy to hear that from you.
Not a problem. Well, awesome. Well, thank you so very much for taking the time to talk to me about everything that you got going on, and of course, promoting the brand new Avatarium album, which of course is available now through Nuclear Blast, and being able to talk about other aspects of your musical life as well. I appreciate you taking the time to be able to do all this. And before we wrap things up, is there anything else you'd like to mention that I haven't mentioned yet?
No, I don't think so. As I said, I hope we can come and go overseas and play our music. That would be great. And it was very nice to talk to you. It was a nice conversation, and I enjoyed it.